I was gonna say something about an old lady, but that is too much information.
Oh boy.
Oh,
The you don't. It is not something I will say.
okay.
Okay. Who has a recap that they can and want to give for the friends that have not been here?
I can do it, but do y'all want me to?
I mean, basically the key points were, like, we got chased into Eppley by a damn green dragon. After that, we were basically approached by some snake guard person, that told us that, shit, you're new people, cool. Don't know what to do with you though. Give us a second. And so we wandered Eppley, met an old woman who would take our puzzles that we can't solve for some weird reason.
Fucking Granny Riddleton or whatever her name
Yeah.
was.
Just call her Granny.
Granny.
Um,
She's like a little gnome living in a house inside another building. It was sketchy as fuck.
Yes. And after we found out from east side of Eppley, or was it west? No, it was west side. It was west side.
West Side, because we kept making West Side Story
Yes.
jokes.
I was thinking like east side, cause like meet me on the east side. Okay. Anyways, after that, we basically were told by the same snake lady person, like, hey, there's somebody who will house you, and so we went to that nice person's house. Don't know what their name was. I wrote it down somewhere. Where is it?
Oh yeah, also I left all my notes on campus, so I'm flying blind.
Hold on, I got one. Relisk? Whatever. Anyways, that's the owner of the house. Anyways, they let us stay there, and then we were summoned the next day by the Queen of Eppley, which I wrote down their name too, but I have one hand to look through these notes, and I'm not going to. Anyways, she basically told us that the dragon has been causing issues, and nobody's been able to leave for like a few hundred-something years. 1,000 years, whatever.
And the dragon used to be their protector,
Yes,
but
and
there was some kind of a scuffle, and in the aftermath of that, she was just constantly angry.
Yes. Scuffle, and like, that was about the same time that the river stopped.
But she doesn't.
No, I don't think it was, because that was...
Wasn't it?
The river has just stopped, like, recently, but
Okay.
they don't want us to kill the dragon.
Yeah. They just
Because
want it to be
people
fixed.
would get upsetty spaghetti because the dragon used to be the protector, but they do want us to figure out the river thing and go past the dragon.
And possibly help, Cheval, I think the name was?
Cheval, yes.
If possible, but priority is fix the river.
I intend to kill this dragon, just so y'all know.
And then there was the boom of the town gates, and we all went to investigate and found that Bixby's party showed up.
Yes.
Motherfucking Bixby's party got their asses beat.
Basically, Vias was one of the first people to get there, and he basically was like, hey, welcome to Eppley, assholes.
Our fucking snake best friend is really fast. Like, they slither super fast.
Who was Bixby?
Monk
I missed
levels,
that one.
man.
Bixby was the Earth fucking Genasi dude, buff guy who was rude to us back in Kessberg that we didn't like. He's like the leader of a little small
okay.
4-person adventuring party. Anyway, we hate those.
I think I wasn't there for that episode, but I am happy to go with the group kind of opinion of he's a dick.
He just didn't want to give us information, so...
He just didn't want to talk to us, man.
Being rude.
I can't imagine why.
I can't
We're so
think of a
nice and
single
trustworthy.
reason why.
Anyway, I hate Bixby.
Bixby is the little phone assistant thing on my Samsung phone. I can totally agree. Bixby's a dick.
Bixby's a dick.
Fuck Bixby.
I hate Bixby.
Exactly.
I always click the little button on the side, and then it's like, oh, I'm launching Bixby. It's like, why is the button even there? Fuck you, Samsung.
I turned it off. It's just a useless button.
It is.
Anyway, okay.
So
Cool.
you are standing in front of the now shut gates of Eppley with the ragged but all surviving members of this other adventurer party. Bixby kind of at the back, and the other four, like the small, like sort of very well armored dwarf has his like hands on his knees and is like breathing hard, even as you heal him, Vias. And their own one of the human twins it has a hand on the other one's shoulder, and you can see there's the sparkle of magic being passed there too. The tall elf is kind of looking around. There's like a deep cut on his forehead, but he's not really paying much attention to it. It's dripping down his face, but he's more distracted by just kind of looking around. And Bixby, his eyes like lock on all of you and Trask Igre. And he steps forward and like puts his party behind him. And he, what the fuck?
No need to get species. Jeez.
Well, my goodness, Stones, you should have told us you were headed this way too. Maybe you wouldn't gotten hurt so bad if you'd come along with us.
This place is supposed to be abandoned. There's a fucking dragon.
There is a dragon. I wouldn't use that sort of language about it, though.
He like gives you a very withering look.
Suzanne,
What, did you get hurt from it
Oh,
or
you
something?
shouldn't give withering looks to Susanna.
Susanna's
Suzanne is the queen of withering looks.
He actually looks very well trained in them.
Challenger to the throne.
Vias crosses his arms at this guy and just says, "What, did it hurt you or something?"
He like goes to speak, and then one of the human, the one with the magic, sort of comes up and like puts their hand on his arm and just, I'm sorry. We're a bit frazzled. Forgive Bixby. And Bixby like looks at them, and they look back, and like that, like very like, you get the sense that this is a person who is very used to Bixby's looks, and just stares at him right back.
Vias approves.
Nice.
Susanna
likes this.
And the dwarf kind of goes, "Yeah, we fucking survived, so we can." Oh, I'm lightheaded, and he like sits down on the floor. And even with your healing, Vias, he looks a little bit.
I know that feeling.
Favor, you got any calm emotions?
Who's playing Vera?
Fuck.
I don't know. I feel like that's something she would do in this situation. I don't know. Nah, it's fine. We can go without.
We don't need calm emotions. It's fine.
Let them suffer.
You guys are mean.
The person who had sort of like the conversation between them and Bixby, like kind of comes to, like the silent conversation comes to an end, and they step forward and they hold out their arm, their hand, and they go, Kyo Songmin. And I can put that in the chat.
Yes,
Thank God.
please. Kyo Songman. Oh God, my notes are upside down. How did that happen? That's
If
not
you
right.
turn them upside down, they'll actually reveal the plot twist early.
It's like a magic eye puzzle. That's
Kyo
Oh, so it just
Songman.
gives you a headache to look at?
Yes, exactly. I mean, that's the same for me.
Yo.
Kyo. Song.
Kyo Songman.
And this was what race of person?
They look like half elf.
Half elf, okay.
And they have their hands sort of held out expectantly.
I guess.
Susanna will shake their hand.
Yeah.
So
Um,
I'll reach out to Claw and shake theirs after too.
I'm Susanna Crow. It's such a pleasure to meet properly this time. I mean,
they nod. And Bixby still looks a little bit kind of pissy, but he sort of turns around and goes to the other the other sorry, no, this person was human. I lied to you. The other human.
No. Betrayal.
I'm so sorry.
It's
The other
fine.
human who now you're looking at them looks kind of fucked up. And Bixby kind of like puts both of his hands on their shoulders and starts talking to them in like a low tone. And Kyo will shake anyone's hand who offers it. Talia won't offer their hand, but
Vice
and-
will shake their hand and introduce himself. Vice.
they will also introduce themselves to Igre, who does the same. And then Kyo goes, okay, sorry, they're a bit busy. She points to Bixby and goes, Bixby, if I think you might remember. They go, they point to the other human in the party and goes, my sibling, Yun, Y-U-N.
This is Bixby talking, right?
No, this is Kyo.
Yo.
Kyo.
Kyo.
Okay, sorry.
Bixby is currently
Talking with Yun.
trying to help.
being a bitch is what he's.
Oof, he's never gonna be redeemed to us, isn't he?
Not to me. I never forgive.
Oh my god.
They point to the dwarf and says Nurundud, but you can call him Nura, and he sort of does like a little salute with his hand, the one not clutching a warhammer.
Nora?
Nurundud. Nura Dun. You don't get a last name, but Nurundud is the.
Who were the ones doing the healing a minute ago?
That would be Kyo.
And Nuradun is a dwarf?
Yes.
Dwarf, okay.
And they finally sort of reach out, and this and like grabs the elf to like and like shakes her to attention, and this is
And
Lensa.
this stupid motherfucker, and that is an out of character comment.
Yeah, and this is Lensa. And Lensa sort of like shakes her head, and then you sort of see her eyes sort of blink as if that probably wasn't a good idea, still free bleeding from like a cut on her head.
Oof.
And she goes, pleasure. And then promptly gets distracted again.
That's interesting.
And Kyo just... Is there, can we get medical attention? I'm sort of tapped.
I have some healing spells.
Zoella will run up and slap a bunch of them with cure wounds for all her spell slots.
Okay, how many spell slots do you have?
1 second, I have 5 spell slots.
Okay, spreading between them, you manage to get them all looking at least a little bit better. I won't make you roll it.
Let's see what
But
Naya
they all willingly accept it. And Igre, you see, just kind of like puts their arms on their waist and just, okay, more newcomers.
Vias
That's
will
a good-
pump the rest of his healing lights into them, so there's 4 of those. So
They all
Sorry,
sort of.
Who said, okay, more newcomers? Sorry, I'm recording because I'm typing down voice lines and stuff where people
Igre.
are saying Igre. Okay, how do you spell
Igre.
Igre?
IGRE.
Thank you.
No problem. And they're all even Bixby is like sort of like gives various levels of thank you nods. The 2 humans like verbally thank you, as does the dwarf. The elf again is kind of like sorry, keeps wandering like a step or 2 away and like examining things, sort of this inquisitive and confused look on her face.
Does she look slightly concussed? Or is she just like that?
Make
I
a
think she's
medicine
just
check.
like that.
yeah, I'm wondering.
I mean, I'll make an attempt at the medicine check as well.
Yeah, Vias is curious.
Medicine. I don't have shit from.
PK did better than Vias. That's fair.
Susanna knows what a concussion looks like.
Yeah, I'm sure she
s-
does. Jesus.
Apparently, Diana also knows what a concussion looks like.
That makes
That's
sense.
does
July.
That tracks. I think.
That does track. Susanna, Diona, you can tell from the way she's looking about, like you can see her pupils, they're not like strangely dilated, she's not stumbling. She's distracted, but she's focused in that, like, she's focused on what's distracting her, if that makes sense.
She's very
Okay.
what do you want to say? Oh God, what's the damn word?
Is she
Hyper-focused
awestruck
at the
by the
moment?
power of Eppley?
She looks entranced by it, for sure.
I don't trust this motherfucker.
You don't trust anyone.
That was not in character.
I know.
Okay.
Joe beat me to the comment by literally about half a second.
Right. Oh my gosh.
And as they sort of recover on the street, Igre at one point sort of like slithers away and gets another guardsman and sends them off, and then they come back. She comes back. And okay. Have to find a new set and a new place to live. And oh great, I love this. This is well, it certainly is exciting. And she gives like a smile that's not really a smile because snakes can't smile. But you get the sense it's that very like,
Force.
this is more than I've ever had to do in my life.
She's overwhelmed. Oof. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Or they.
They.
Fair.
They're not used to having people actually enter the city and having to do their job. That's valid.
I mean, I'm sure they have a job.
Yeah, generally people get scared off by the big fuck off dragon.
Exactly.
Or die.
And at this point, Igre just kind of looks at you. She actually looks at Susanna and goes, do you mind if I take care of this? Can you just sort of? It'd be easier if only one half of you are here that I have to deal with.
I have no idea what Igre is trying to imply. I am
Do you
so
want
sorry.
us to skedaddle? I think.
Okay. We are being told to skedaddle.
Yes.
We can skedaddle. Of course we can get out of your way. We wouldn't want to
We'll
be.
do some digging
But well,
elsewhere.
you are doing this important work.
They nod their thanks, and she turns back to Bixby and Kyo's party, and they start talking
So let's run along then.
Vias will, but he's gonna keep Mercy nearby to
Yes.
spy.
All right.
And listen in on them.
Yeah, he's having Mercy there as eavesdropping.
Yep.
Yeah,
She will tell
eavesdropping.
him anything that's of importance.
Make a perception check for her.
Alright. Let's see, Mercy. Where is your stats, Miss Girl? Here we go. She has advantage. 17.
Okay. You hear a lot of the same things that Igare said to you all when you first showed up. Including kind of we can find you a place to sleep, you'll have to give us a day to figure out what we're gonna do, with that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Make me an intelligence check, actually.
For Mercy?
For you.
Okay. Where is Vias's intelligence? Oh yes, it's right here.
She has no bonus.
He's got a 12.
Alright, cool.
Oh no.
Vias is not that intelligent, so...
Man, almost had that nat 20 though.
That would have been neat, right?
Yeah, honestly, the nat 20 was all that was gonna get you anything interesting.
Damn.
But, I was just curious to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's a 1 in 20 chance.
And you are all told to just kind of go back into the streets of Eppley. You do have some royal waivers for some supplies, which none of you ever texted me what you wanted.
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Vias just wanted his portable loom, so...
I
Yeah,
did
I
the bullet
what?
thing last session, but I still don't remember what metals I used for bullets. So I don't.
They met with the Queen of Eppley, who gave them the request to fix the river, and was like, anything you want, we can at least provide some cover for. And I gave you an option to basically be like, okay, what do you want?
So that includes armor.
I can't wear anything more.
I mean, Lena could.
I know, that's what I'm
Susanna
popping
could.
at.
Susanna could, but won't.
Of course not.
Oh, Zoella only has leather armor. She definitely needs studded leather. Oh my god.
Wait, Parker.
Yes.
Can I get bird armor?
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
They give you so the way this has worked, the way I described this was that there was a clerk who, when you told them what you wanted, gave you little like voucher slips for a couple of merchant in towns. And when you ask for that, he kind of looks at you and writes down bird armor ?
Oh, like
Dylan
for a
points at
bird?
Marcus.
Oh my god, Vias would want that too.
No.
And so bird armor ×2 ? Happens. And he very uncertainly hands you a voucher for a blacksmith.
Fuck, yes!
Would it be a blacksmith? Do they actually have iron here?
Maybe like a leather worker?
Well, it is what is called. It says blacksmith on the paper. You don't know what that entails, but it says blacksmith.
Interesting. Oh my god, I got fucking acetone everywhere. Jesus.
Bird armor, bird armor.
So, can we just add, like, basic stuff to your inventory then? Like studded leather or...
Within reason. I might have to say no to some things, just in terms of what Eppley would have supplies for. But I would let you grab some studded leathers.
Have particularly much in the way of... Like, it may not actually be leathers from what you said. It might be something
like some sort of other hide, but you know.
Yeah, it's if anything, it's actually like you think for a horrible moment that it might be snakeskin.
Oh my god.
But it's not. They're very quick to
Well-
assure you that it's not snakeskin.
Oh, that's cool though. Ooh, Zola has pretty
Um,
armor now.
Yes.
While people are shopping, Susanna's gonna yeehaw her little self back to the house and work on the stuff
Okay.
as
Well,
discussed.
don't you need to get the black powder from the?
I don't need black powder for this particular thing unless I do.
Well, it's just the
I
bullets
mean,
for
if
the
you're
thing.
if you're making bullets, you'll need gunpowder.
Well, I'll get black powder and I will yeehaw as fast as possible back to the room to work on this thing.
They don't have a lot of black powder, and in fact, you kind of have to like teach them like, okay, you need sulfur and you need that thing. Like you almost have to teach them how to make gunpowder.
That's fine. I got this.
But they have the raw materials. They just never have combined them in that particular.
Oh god,
I
that's
mean-
dangerous.
No, wait, no, I established they did have black powder. I lied. They have gunpowder.
I
Yeah,
would've
they're a
laughed
mining
'cause
town,
I'm
right?
like, imagine
were.
Susanna teaching them how to make fucking bombs.
No,
I-
That's
they,
step 2.
they have.
Do they
They
have
have it.
extra short swords
Yes.
or scimitars or either or? I just need a secondary offhand sword.
That's fine.
Sweet.
I mean, I'm assuming that getting something like splint or plate would probably not be possible with the facilities they have. So Lena would probably be looking for getting hold of some healing potions or something similar to that for emergency.
They have medicine kits. And one alchemist is able to supply you with one standard healing potion.
Actually, this might not be possible because they are Yonti and they don't care about poison. But would it be possible to get some antitoxins just in case we do end up tangling with the dragon again? Like,
Unfortunately,
it's entirely understandable if you say no. It would make no
they
sense.
are.
for me
Yeah,
to-
they don't.
Yeah, that's fair. I just wanted to verify because we will be tangling with the dragon probably. So
I mean,
It's
Lena will
fine,
take
Yeah.
Lena will take the
We are
medical kit and a healing potion.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. Okay. One at a time. Susanna, you have about 8 bullets worth of material.
Excellent.
Material. Vias, you have bird armor.
Bird armor question mark?
Dylan, bird armor.
Please.
What does that raise the bird's AC by?
Give me a second. Zoella, you got a studded armor, basically.
And a short sword.
And short sword. Okay. Lena, you got medicine. How many medicine kit?
If there's more than one, she'll take 2.
Okay, 2 medicine kits. And
And the common healing
s-
potion, if possible.
yeah. Yep. Okay, all right. Who wants other things?
I did ask for that portable loom if there was one, but that can wait.
You can have one.
Yes!
Very important for dragon fighting purposes.
Yes, so important.
Anything else for anybody?
No?
Amy, if you're talking, I cannot hear you.
Yeah.
I'm not talking. I've got a fan going
Okay.
in the background, so it's just that occasionally picking up.
Why does my phone keep on?
No, I mean Lena really, really wants an armor upgrade, but isn't likely to get it here, so
No,
That's cool.
unfortunately not.
she'll keep saving. It's
We'll
good.
Get it. We'll get it for you. We'll make you our best tank ever.
Is that it?
I think I'm good anyway.
All right. Why I don't like that that piece of paper is coming. Wait a minute. Excellent. Some of that, like for example, the studded armor and the bird armor, which when you get to the blacksmith, you realize it's less of a blacksmith and more of someone who works with non-iron metals, but has just sort of kept the name black, as if, like, the title has stayed the same, the job has changed a little bit in this city. But he is still able to provide you with armor that's about the same as, like, iron-studded armor, as you would expect. The bird armor, he kind of looks at, and looks up at all of you, and at the birds, and just goes, all right. That stuff will take a day to get, unfortunately. 2 days, a day to make, okay?
Well, that's okay, because spells will have been burned in helping.
Yeah.
Vice just gives 2 big thumbs up and a grin.
Bird armor.
Okay.
Armor them birds.
Now, I do have a question for you, Parker.
Yes.
Because with the tailor, Diana did decide to get some of the and you did get the option of getting it reinforced like armor. What would that sort of count as?
I would give you consider it +1, but not magic. Does that make sense?
So effectively, yeah, I know what you mean. I use the same mechanic in mind. So effectively, +1 studded leather. Is that what we're gonna effectively call it?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Wait, what about +1 studded leather?
That was for Diona.
Damn.
Yeah, from the tailor. She got the she got the clothes made of the fancy material because I had the unholy Crowbrain need to have her in.
She's
shiny.
so valid.
Plus.
Much like I had the unholy Crowbrain, but that one I cannot justify to get her a dress made of this stuff. But
Bias would.
yes, if Vias or Susanna can get the idea.
Oh, we
Hold
got
on.
it.
Ignore what I'm doing. I'm setting up Marcus's sheet.
Oh. Bless.
Josh, something you can do in the chat is if you do /talk to myself as one word.
Oh, okay.
We won't be able to see any of the rules.
Okay, I think everything's set up right. Do you like the description of his attack?
We can't. Yes, it's valid.
Bless.
Marcus. Initiative.
It wouldn't let me drag in Raven from the comedian, so I had to manually do all the things.
I mean, I just basically have
So weird.
Mercy's thing as an actual character, so.
Oh yeah, you have to add an extra sheet and then drag it over, because then it'll make that extra sheet a raven.
He's
So-
good. I got him. He's all set.
You're
I
valid.
love him.
Okay. Is there anything else you would all wish to do today?
So, as far as food places, is that just the cafe, or is the?
In terms of like restaurants and like places to eat,
I was much thinking, getting raw materials and someone to teach us some of the stuff from here.
Ooh.
you can sort of ask around, but kind of like how the cafe owner was initially like too like a coin won't cut it for food.
Oh yeah.
You get kind of stalled in that people don't want to be using what little food they have to teach an outside
That's fair.
person.
Makes sense.
Like you notice like prices for things are like super fucking low, except for food. In fact, a lot of
That makes
places don't
sense.
even offer to sell food.
Yep, that tracks.
So unfortunately, at this time, no.
Okay.
It's like rations, basically. Is what I'm
Yes.
expecting.
Yes.
Which
that's
makes
not
sense with the
ration
river
level.
being fucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Someone would explain like we don't like it's basically a ration system right now. That there's
yeah,
not.
that's fair.
The city is yours if you want to explore anything or if you want to just go the fuck to bed.
Diana is gonna want to spend some time exploring.
Yeah, I think Vice would want to too.
Susanna will be locked in her room in the house. Like, she won't even let Zoella in. She's just like, nope, do not bother me right now. I am very busy.
Oh, no, Zoella's not going to be there. She's going to be asking to get on Diona's shoulders.
Excellent.
I think Vias would feel weird about, like, letting her be alone, so he's gonna leave Mercy with her just in case.
Rude, but acceptable.
Oh, like she minds Mercy's company.
Nah.
Excuse you.
She's a good bird.
She is a good bird. Yes, that's true. She does appreciate Mercy being there.
Bless.
All right. Make me either an intelligence or a perception check.
What, for going around the city?
Yes.
Would it help if Vias was something that could, like, a different type of animal?
This is mostly just to see if you guys get lost.
I mean, to be fair, babe, I do need to remind you of one of the pugilist abilities Diana has.
Yes, but you have
Because
not
she's going to
caroused
be
the city yet.
That is
It is-
what this is going to be if you're allowing. And that includes the
Yes.
risk of getting lost.
But you're not that yet.
You haven't gotten
Yeah.
it yet, so you have to succeed this attempt to not get lost, to carouse properly. Does that make sense?
I'm willing to accept the getting lost, honestly. But yeah, I'll roll as
Vias
well
got
once
a 20 on his perception.
Like, if you get lost in the city, I'm not going to say you have a mental map of the city, because then
That's
you
fair.
would have been lost. Luckily for you all, you don't get fucking lost.
Yeah, bless.
Hey.
Finally, something we don't get fucked up.
Again, this city is, it's not perfectly circular, but it's got instead like a many like sided shape in a circularish style, in which the streets are laid out in that spiderweb pattern that I described last session.
Yep.
Alright.
The temple is in the center, and you kind of use that to orient yourself in terms of where in the city you are. As long as you can like see the spire of the temple, you can tell which angle
Yeah.
you are at. The top of the palace also provides you an excellent reference. Those are the only two consistent buildings you can see over the otherwise very tight and high built city. With the exception of West Side, the city is actually pretty nice for being like basically like on quarantine. Quarantine is not the right word that I'm looking for.
Lockdown, maybe?
For secluded, for being sequestered
There you go.
in the jungle alone for so long. And there's also not an insane amount of people. Like, this city looks like it was built for a lot more people than there currently are, and so there's a lot of abandoned buildings. Not quite falling apart the way West Side is, but they still look empty. But at the same time, you see lots of remnants of lost art. There are murals on walls. There are these statues, like monument statues, some of them to old kings and queens, some of them to that same like woman snake figure that you saw like outside in the clearing.
Ooh, I know what I was gonna kind of look for. A temple or something. Like, do they have a temple to this person? That thing.
Presumably the
sta-
big ass temple we have been using as a
A way marker, yeah. But
You can presume that that temple is probably related to that statue.
yeah.
well, I have been kind of curious about that anyway, so we could go.
Remind me, was the palace the actual temple, or was that just like off?
No, the palace
Okay.
was separate from the temple.
Well,
I
maybe
mean,
we
Lena
should...
would
I think they
probably
were both.
be. Lena would be interested in wandering that direction.
Yeah, so would Fias. I think maybe we should try there. What do you think?
I'm
mean,
happy to, but I don't see it.
Yeah. That
I'm
looks
happy to.
curious.
The angle in which you are approaching the temple sort of takes you past the palace walls. Sorry. You see on the outside of these walls, you sort of run into another mural. But it seems to extend around the back of it's very large. And the couple of gates and the breaks in the walls you can find, the mural like extends onto the inside, like it covers both sides of this wall, and it details Diona, because you rolled so fucking well, it details names and faces of monarchs. Like, you've seen them plastered around the city, but sort of randomly. This is like a collection of them, and almost like a genealogy of them, everyone who's held the throne in what order. And then you come to the sort of end of the mural, and there's a bit of like blank space past that. That you can't quite see the start of the mural. There's enough blank space you can tell that there's still a decent amount of wall left to cover, but even then the depictions have been quite small, and there's been a lot of history packed into this thing, and you haven't even seen the whole thing. But the last figure, the last person is just, there is a male person painted as like the others, with the same sort of phrase underneath it written in this sort of language that you don't know. And then a bit that has like varied, and you can presume that is the name of each monarch. So it's probably like His Highness, Her Highness, fill in the name here. And it is a young man who is. Give me like a hot second.
Okay.
Yes. What favor would you like, my darling?
Huh?
Give me 1 second. Yes?
Roommate shenanigans,
I
would assume. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go wash my hand.
Yes. Am I being loud? Okay. I was like, I'm sorry if I'm disturbing you. Round down. Alright, bye. Sorry about that. I had a phone call. Hello?
Hello.
we can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Yep, you're good.
Had a phone call. I am back now.
Welcome back.
Where was I? Oh, the portrait of this young king, who is, sort of again like the queen on the more humanoid side of Yanti. And in fact has like some hair sprouting, like dark, thick, wavy, like brown hair. And he's like, it's like a smiling sort of portrait with these like piercing yellow eyes, like snake yellow eyes. And then, of course, a portrait of the current queen, just below him in a smaller capacity. But you make it to the temple, and the temple, out in front of the temple is the biggest of the statues you've seen of this like snake woman figure. And there are a few people coming and going from this temple, and it is circular shaped, it's like a very large dome, actual dome structure, that is intricately decorated, gemstones and woven metals, and like the bottom part of the dome is solid, so there's like a solid band of metal, of like stone and metal, and then the top part of the dome is just woven together metal, kind of like linked iron chains forming the circular part of it, with gemstones and colored glass filling in the areas between the metal. And you can only imagine what it looks like from the inside with the sun coming through all of that color.
I want to be inside of that. Oh, did I say that out loud? Oops.
Yeah, but don't worry about it. I don't know. It's very fancy.
It's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's very different to anything I've ever seen, I suppose, but
So there's people coming and going. Is it just like
a couple of Yanti look sort of dressed the same way. You get the sense that these are like the temple like acolytes and employees.
Can Vias go and try and stop one of them, possibly, or like catch their attention?
As you get closer to the temple, you draw their attention naturally.
Okay.
Being
we all
not
fell
Yanti, being not Yanti, you sort of gather attention very quickly, and one of them, in sort of the most ornate of the clothing, sort of steps forward and pushes not really pushes, but sort of ushers the other acolytes sort of aside. And he steps forward and goes, hello, can I help you?
Hello. We were kind of interested in whose guidance this temple is under. Who is this goddess here?
This would be Our Lady Neona.
Neona.
Can I make a religion check to see if Lena has heard the name before at all?
Would Vias
You may.
that?
You may.
Okay. Where is my... Oh, there it went. Religion. No, Vias is pathetic.
Amy, Lena, you have heard the name Neona? You've heard it in sort of a celestial context, divine sort of context. You don't remember it being a name that is associated with any of like the typical major deities. Sorry.
It's okay.
In fact, you think more you've seen it just kind of in your, I don't know how much like studying you did to become a paladin or anything.
Probably not as much as Feyre did to become a cleric.
Yeah, but what little thing you did, maybe you saw her name on like a list of
So she's seen
divine.
it in passing rather than necessarily knowing anything about it.
Yeah, like it the thing you know is that it kind of checks out in being like a divine sort of celestial type of name, and like you get that vibe, like you're not dealing with like a fiend pretending to be a god here. Like it is in the right realm of
Yep.
existence.
Yep. Cool.
But you don't know much more than that.
Okay.
And this Yanti goes, Neona, patron goddess of our city.
Interesting. Is there much that you could tell us about her?
Well, he sort of points up to the statue and just, she is, she a typical, well, that's sort of the classic depiction, one half woman, one half snake, sort of. You know, the duality of like Yanti being of people of two kinds of creature, cold-blooded lizards and human. So there's usually just sort of that thing, both sides of us, as part of her.
Interesting.
She has been our patron for centuries before us, and hopefully for centuries later.
Well, she seemed to protect us in the woods, at some point, so I suppose we owe her a favor.
Lena's going to kind of, as subtly as she can, kind of kick Vias in the ankle as he says that.
The auntie kind of like shakes his head and goes, No, Neona asks no favors. She is good and kind and only asks you to be the same.
Well, isn't that lovely? Usually gods enjoy favors.
I mean, I suppose the closest you might get would be not to disrespect her city.
Of course, we wouldn't dream of it.
We are, we're here to help if we can, so no disrespecting going on from any of us.
Then you are welcome. Is that all you wanted? Just a...
We were just looking around the city, learning our way around.
I mean, I'm kind of interested to see the inside of this place. It's beautiful. If that's allowed of us?
He kind of tenses, and I'm sorry, it's for the... God, what's the word?
Worshippers?
What's the word? Not worshippers. It's for
Initiates?
the clergy. It's for the clergy.
Oh, of course. That's unfortunate, but it's beautiful.
If you don't mind me
Thank you.
asking, where do the non-clergy worship?
Oh, right here, and he motions to the like the sort of open space around the temple.
Well, it's
Yeah.
certainly not as fancy, is it? I suppose. Still
And-
pretty.
You also get kind of the sense that he's not just motioning to this space, but to just like the city in general.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I suppose we should be off, shouldn't we? It was very nice to meet you. Your name? Do you have?
Yes. What's the word? Priest. Priest, that's the word. Priest Kizut. Kizut. Yeah, I cannot pronounce it because I'm an idiot. That's
It's
what it is.
fair.
Kizut. Kizut.
Kisut.
Thank you for your time.
He sort of nods and motions to some of the younger like clergy members that have kind of like crept a little closer to like, nope, back inside now.
Don't gawk at the strangers, it's rude.
I think.
I hope you.
Sorry,
He just
go
goes,
ahead.
welcome to our city.
Thank you. And I think as we're walking away, Vias just like steeples his hands a little bit, and he's like, "Oh God, I really, really want to sneak in there now. Damn it." Can I? Okay, would you give me permission to like turn into a snake and like slither in there or something?
Nope.
God damn it.
Are you able to turn into a snake yet?
I mean, I can turn into a small snake. I can turn into a boa constrictor, like a giant one.
I mean, it might be a tiny bit disrespectful, but I don't know.
I feel like they might be hiding something.
I know.
I think it would be a bad idea to be disrespectful.
I didn't like that guy.
Maybe I should try and do it tonight and see if I can do it. I mean, I haven't snuck into a place since I went out with my cousin at one time. Oh, that didn't end very well though. But I can do it, I think.
Phrasing. I went out with my cousin anyway.
Mood.
I mean, this is Vias we're talking about.
Oh no! we're moving on.
Oh
from
no,
this.
not like that! Oh my God, Joe.
Picking bad wording.
Are you?
Jeez.
Jesus.
I was like, are you accusing that like the Deltari family of incest here? Like, what is happening?
No, just
I
that
know the
Vias is
phrasing
bad
is
at
bad.
words.
Yeah. I
Just
don't
out
know.
of left field.
He like stops in the
Phrasing
middle
could
of
have
his
been better from
sentence, and then just like raises
I
a
know.
hand and he says, it's not incest. I don't mean out like go out. I meant like actually go gallivanting. Jeez Louise.
Hello.
That
Okay, out of
leader
character.
at that point is going to pat him on the shoulder. That really doesn't sound any better.
Oh my God.
Out of character.
It really doesn't.
What was
Now
that?
Zoella has the line, "It wasn't incest." From
Oh no.
Oh my god.
He just like face palms and just says, "We went through a ruin and it didn't end well. There we go. Oh Jesus Christ."
Just stop talking, Myers. It's fine.
It wasn't incest.
No, Zoella. And then he just basically just shames you in Marquesian. Like,
No,
how
no,
could you
I
do
wanna
this
know
does
to
what
me?
to say.
understand.
You were my friend.
She does.
In Marquesian, he's basically like, how could you do this to me? You were. I am an absolute fool. Oh, how could this happen?
We tease him
to
because
me?
we love him.
I made my mistake.
It's so easy to tease him too.
Yes. Unfortunately. because I, the player, am very bad at words.
Listen, bad at words is extremely valid. But yeah, point of order with the turning into a snake, is he level 4 in Druid yet?
He should be able to turn into a small snake.
They have a swim speed.
Let me check, because I know he can turn into a constrictor snake.
He shouldn't be able to, because again, swim speed, and he's not.
A
Oh,
boa
maybe it's
constrictor
Druid,
has
is he?
a swim speed? The
You're
fuck?
right. You're right. I'll have to look here. Hold on. I mean, I can turn into.
I don't know why
fucking
you're
giant
surprised that boas have
spider.
swim speeds.
I mean, they have.
Maybe
swim
I'm
speeds
just
'cause
really bad
snakes-
at animals, man.
Well, I mean, I can turn into a tiny fucking spider. I mean, that's probably normal. And then if I get into trouble, I can just be a fucking tiger. Get the fuck
I
out.
think that maybe comes under the heading of disrespecting the city. Certainly the tiger part.
I mean, if I'm a tiger, then they can't accuse me of disrespecting the city because they won't know who I am. So, and I'm sure the Moonweaver would be able to help me, maybe. She likes me enough.
Zoella just looks at Vias and shakes her head.
I think there's a lot of maybes in that
Even
sentence.
She doesn't want. Oh, Zoella, please.
I mean, I don't like that guy, and I don't like anyone who has that kind of wealth and flaunts it while everyone else sits outside. But that's a whole other thing, and I don't know. It just seems a bit risky.
I mean, there's always tales of like zealot people where they want so much for themselves, you know?
And you also have to consider that wealth here is a different concept.
Oh,
Materials we consider valuable are everywhere.
I know, and that's why I'm kind of not pushing it, but it just doesn't sit right with me. And bad experiences and all that. I just think, yeah, going on in there would be kind of close to disrespect, and surely if they suddenly find a tiger, we'd be the first ones they looked at.
I mean, I guess. But what? Okay, where do we even have an idea where we're gonna go after this? Like to go and figure out the dragon issue. Maybe that's the key. I mean, I'm just saying it might be, or I'm just a complete nincompoop.
If we think it is a legitimate lead, we could possibly pursue the avenue of, and I cannot believe I am the one saying this,
stealth mission?
Official permission.
Oh, I mean, I guess we could do that, but then wouldn't that make them like extra on our tail? So if anything weird goes and happens there, they're going to go straight to us instead of, like, let's say the other group of crazies that just showed up in this place. That bad stuff didn't happen till they came here, you know? Vice just punctuates each of these words with a wink. I mean, we could.
He gets
have
a very
an alibi.
unimpressed look.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm with Diona on this one.
I mean, if Susanna
And
was here,
there's
she'd probably
also
be on my side. Maybe.
There's also the fact of, if we go through it officially and something happens, then we have the... And why am I the one advocating for the official method? If something happens and we are doing it in the interests of finding a solution, we would not have taken measures that were not necessary, that we did not consider necessary.
Okay, but I'm gonna be a fucking, like, tiny little spider. I don't...
Fair.
Who thinks of a spider as being a spy, huh?
There's kind of a look at that, and I can think of a lot of people who do.
Okay, maybe I can be something else. I don't know.
I'm
do you know
not
that-
saying don't do it. It's just that I've.
They might have protections on as well to stop people sneaking in, looking
Mm.
like something other than themselves.
That's really stupid.
Not necessarily. It's all
Okay,
in that
it's
would they
smarter
have
than-
reason to?
Yes, but maybe it's not a good reason. Maybe it's an evil reason. Maybe they're not good people.
I mean, they've not really. I mean, Neona is, as far as I know, some form of deity.
True.
I don't know details, but don't disrespect the city is kind of fairly subtle as things go.
Well, I don't plan to disrespect the city. So... Okay, you have my absolute promise on my Marquesian heritage and whatever the fuck is in my blood, that I won't go and, what do you want to say, disrespect the temple or the city. So,
Talia's gonna roll a fucking insight check.
sure, go ahead.
Bitch.
Try it. Did it roll yet?
13.
I'm gonna roll a secret roll. See how well he does.
Oh no.
I'm the fucking DM.
I know. I'll just.
I would
oh,
like to
no.
see this roll, please.
Oh my god, hold on.
Well,
I'll
he
let
can
you
do it.
know.
Whisper to GM.
Yeah.
Diana kind of, whichever hand is not supporting Zoella, kind of puts the hand on her hip, tilts her head a little bit, and
I'll send
cousin.
you a PM, but the people watching this will know bias. But you're not sure if you're convinced or not. Or actually, no, you're pretty convinced that he means it
Okay.
because you succeeded on.
I,
that,
as
so.
the DM, would like
I
to
am
know.
going to let you know. Hold on, I'm trying to fucking let my thing work here.
I think Diana
Okay.
kind of gives him a bit of a. We are guests.
Do
Even
you
if
not
we're
believe
going
in
to-
Diona? Come on now.
Vias,
When
you
have
are
I
a
done
cousin, and I
anything
love you,
untoward?
which also means I do not trust you to not get up to shenaniganery.
Okay, list one time where I did shenaniganery in a big city like this. One
Talia
time.
puts a
That was
hand
Dylan.
on. Talia puts a hand on your arm, Diana, and just goes, I think it's fine. Let off.
See,
Sorry, I
Talia's
didn't mean
making
to-
sense. Thank you, Talia.
Wasn't a judgment against you. It was.
Look, I wouldn't put you guys in danger. That's not something I'm happy with doing, so...
I wasn't accusing you of anything. It was as much a comment of the people I consider family. It wasn't any disparagement against you. It was my own judgment of chosen family.
Well... That's nice. Vias just kind of slowly walks off.
Oof.
it's more like you get the sense that he's a little overwhelmed with being called chosen family, and he seems pretty psyched.
Yeah.
Doesn't know what to say about that.
Oh.
Well,
I mean, there's nothing else to really look at unless we want to go looking for interesting stuff. Anything else that piques your
mean-
interest?
at this point, you kind of get the vague sense if you know what the city is, what the layout is.
Yeah.
So the only thing I would say is if you want a particular shop, and I would tell you at this point, whatever you would have to get, you would have to be buying yourself.
That's fair. And we don't have a whole bunch of
Well, I mean,
coins. Unless you want
I,
to go
out
solve
of
some
character,
puzzles.
want to go to various shops and find out the puzzles because that's. But Donut doesn't.
I mean, Vice would be
Donut's pretty
fine.
self-contained.
Currency.
Vice is a greedy motherfucker.
Actually, he's
Well,
not.
I mean, Diana does have the money, so if he wants to talk her
Ren is a
into.
greedy motherfucker.
Yes, Ren is greedy motherfucker. Okay, but like Vias, oh god, what was I gonna say? Damn it! Now my brain won't work no more. He was the only one that didn't fail his wisdom save for greed to get to this damn city.
It
That's
wasn't
true.
necessarily greed. Is
Okay,
the
so
thing.
desire
Whatever.
to
The
find the
wisdom
city
save
anyways.
for wanting to be.
Actually, you know what? I think Diana will try and find if there's a potter of some kind.
Yeah?
Because I think she's gonna actually get some there's clay
Again,
cooking
you
dishes
pick
that
a
work very well, and
You pick a shop that I do not have a puzzle ready for.
Heck,
Because you're like, I want to go to a pottery shop, and I didn't think there'd be a fucking pottery shop
oh my
that you
god.
want to go to.
well, I mean, it makes sense considering the materials they have available. Like clay, it makes sense as something they would have.
Vias is gonna go and try find Susanna and see if she wants to come walk with them for a little while.
Okay, how about you go do that while I find a
Yes,
puzzle?
that's what we're gonna do.
I love
think.
your.
Susanna is still in the room. She does not open the door if you knock.
Vias
is-
just talks to you through Mercy. So how's it going in there? Oh,
Oh,
I can
sweet
actually
godfather,
see
why
through
don't you
Mercy.
warn me before you do something like that? My goodness.
Sorry, I thought Mercy kind of did, but I guess bird speak is different.
I thought she was chirping. I didn't think she was saying, hey, here's that.
Well, let's just say if she chirps at you like 5 times, that's her saying, "Hey, Vias is gonna be in here, so watch yourself." And you know. But how's it going?
It is. Vice, I don't say this often, but I am really so smart.
You're very smart, yes.
I am so smart. Oh my goodness. This is working so well.
What can he see through Mercy's eyes? Is she actually like doing
As
something
soon as
really good?
Vice starts talking, Susanna would have covered that shit up. It is a surprise. It is a surprise.
Does he get the intense reaction that she's lying to him?
Make an insight check.
Oh my god.
Susanna lying. Is Susanna fucking lying? That's a good.
Oh, that's a 17.
Susanna is always lying. Let's be
Uh-huh.
honest here.
Motherfucker.
I got a 17.
Yeah, okay. She's just like. She's so very pleased with her. Like, do you want me to tell you what she's working on?
No, but you can just say if she's like, if she's. I just wanted to know if she's.
It's not a
actually
surprise
pleased.
for you guys. She's just excited that it's gonna shock you all when you see it.
Okay.
It's not anything for you. It's
No,
for
that's
her
fine.
specifically.
No,
That's
Vias
that's
just,
sort of why she's trying to be like,
Oh,
it's
well,
a surprise,
Vias
but it's
just-
not really a surprise
I
for
mean,
you.
depending on what it is, it might actually be quite beneficial in the hands of certain party members who are good at yeeting things.
Vias was just
No,
interested to
Not
know
that.
if
It's
she was
not that. It's
actually-
not for you guys.
Fair.
Vias was just interested to think if she was actually doing well on it, or like.
Oh, she is doing fantastic. She is more excited about this than she has been about something in a hot second. This is going really well.
All right, well, we'll leave you be for a little bit. Maybe get some fresh air at some point. Mercy said
I
he's
don't
been
need
in
fresh
here for a
air. I
while.
have everything I need right here. There's like a little puff of smoke, and she coughs a little bit, and she's like, well, okay, 1 minute. Maybe I do need a little bit of...
Yeah, I mean, Mercy said you were in here for quite a bit, so maybe take a
I
breath.
have not left. I have been in here this whole time.
Yeah, she said maybe you should probably go to the restroom. You'll probably need to use the bathroom. at some
Excuse
point.
me, Mercy. That is terribly inappropriate.
She's just looking out for you, you know.
I don't need her to look out for me in that sense.
Well, you know, sometimes
You
that
know what?
happens.
You know what? You end this conversation. Are you downstairs?
Yes, we're kind of like halfway out the door, kind of downstairs in the area, and you know, we're just
Okay,
hanging
wait
around.
10 minutes for me. 10
Sure.
minutes.
I'll leave you alone, and Mercy will not notify me of anything.
How about Mercy goes downstairs and waits for me for 10 minutes?
Sure. Except you're gonna have to open the door because she can't really open that, so.
Susanna will open the door for Mercy.
And you watch the weird consciousness, like you could actually kind of notice that you can tell when Vias goes into her because her eye color changes a little bit. It goes from
that's
that
scary.
ringed gold and silver to just from that silver color that you can tell is just Vias's eyes to that ringed gold with silver. And she just chirps at you twice and flies out.
That is scary. I do not like that in the slightest.
Yeah, I'm just imagining a bird with people eyes.
Well, it gets the weird pupil thing, like the pupil style changes a little bit, but they do have weird people eyes too, kind of. So.
As
Okay,
promised,
puzzle
in 10
acquired.
minutes, Susanna will come join y'all and go with you to the place, wherever you're
Bless.
All right, in 10 minutes, Susanna comes. Susanna comes down. Oh my god.
freezing, Parker.
She does it! Yay!
Damn, we are not winning the
Survived.
freezing game tonight.
We're on fire.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
I love it. I love it so much. This is the best roleplay group ever.
Okay. Okay.
I'm so
Okay.
immersed.
You can find a pottery shop just fine. Like other places, like it looks like it's very nicely done pottery. Like it is painted beautifully. The paint sort of glitters actually a little bit, as if there are crushed up like gems inside.
Love it. Oh my god. It's this.
And
Which, to be fair, Darren is actually not going to want particularly fancy. She's going to want sort of earthenware pots
Too
she
bad
can
you get
use for
fancy,
cooking.
motherfucker. Fancy.
Yeah, but she'll feel bad about.
I'm gonna send
Fancy.
you a
But
that-
message at some point.
that is the wares you see, but inside this shop that you sort of enter, there are two Yuan-ti, an older one, sort of going like who's looking at a younger one. You don't know, Ren.
Okay.
Going, all right, okay. Listen. I love you, but you're a dumbass. And the little one, the younger one, just like, I don't see. Would you, if it's such a problem, would you tell me? And the older one is like, no, you gotta learn. Oh, hi, sorry. And she like looks at you. How can I help you? And the younger one looks
I'm
kind of put out.
actually looking to get some some eating ware, bowls, possibly plates, and a pot about. And she puts her hands about a foot and a half apart, about
Okay.
this wide, somewhat, with a lid of about the same size.
All right.
If that would be possible to have made.
Sure, I can make the pot for you. Any of there's plates and stuff. Just pick one you like. And she starts to head into the back.
Nothing. Glazing to protect it against heat, but no paint or anything, please. It's going to be being used for cooking.
She kind of gives you like kind of a look, like you're kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah, I get that a lot. It's
She goes, fine, no skin off my back. And she looks at the little one. She goes, all right, figure it out by the time I get back. And she heads back into the back of the shop. And the little one just, and he like he like sort of leans over the shop counter and is like looking at a little like scrap piece of fabric, like rubbing it like in frustration.
What you got there,
help?
darling?
He looks over and Mama's doing the thing where so she wanted me to like figure out ways to like stack cups to like be fancy or something. I guess like the king and queen are doing something. I don't know. And so I came up with a couple of designs, and then she like looked at them and like told me one of them was so like that like I'm a dumbass. Like that, like she wants me to figure out what she means, but she won't tell me.
Oh, I know that.
Well, that was frustrating.
That sounds like some nonsense, and maybe we can help.
He like pushes the piece of paper over towards you, and you see like it's just they're like scrawled like sketches for like how to like stack glasses in a very decorative way. And he goes, she says 4 of them are okay, but the last one's dumb. One of them's dumb, and I can't figure out which one.
Oh, that's fucking easy, I think.
Don't
D?
use that language in public.
Sorry. Isn't it D? Cause like the cup is inside of the round cups, and that edge is like not gonna work there. They can't like overlap like that.
He looks at it, and then you see him like snakes can't blush, but he looks suitably embarrassed.
I mean,
And
it
he
would
like
work.
takes it back, and sort of like.
At the same time, that's the one that looks like it would be the most stable.
True, but it doesn't quite work that way with glasses, unfortunately. I mean, unless it was like an interesting glass with like handles, you know? That would be cool. You should make a glass with 2 handles.
He's already like taken the piece of paper back and is like grumbling, and has kind of like squashed it up between his hands, and he looks kind of like you know how you like little kids get.
Oh my god.
Sometimes all you need is a second pair of eyes, or
Yeah.
another 8 pairs of eyes.
And he heads back into the back of the shop, and you hear him just go. You hear there's a mumbling, and he like you can't tell what's being said between him and his mom. But a few minutes later, with almost kind of takes you by surprise. But she has a pot ready for you, and she just, well, you're very lucky I hadn't painted this one yet, and she hands it over to you. And sorry about my son.
Oh, I think he was lovely.
Boy's gotta learn. He's smart. Just doesn't think everything through all the time.
Sometimes the simplest things can be overlooked.
Mhm. And I'm sure he's still fairly young. I mean, that takes a little bit.
Yeah, I suppose. And she goes, just take it. And thank you for helping him out. And she leaves.
Yep.
And inside the pot, you find 2 coins.
Yay! Good
So we
job,
now have
Anna.
6. Oh.
Yay!
Me struggling to find a puzzle, picks one from the start of the game. I'm like, sure. That'll be... This is easy. If they don't fucking get this.
Vias is good at patterns.
Yes, he's very good at patterns. See, Vias is sitting there like very pleased because he's like, maybe I can get some more of that shiny fabric. Maybe I can find. Oh, I know. My mama really likes paints. She's a painter. She does like the designs and stuff for our bigger custom made tapestries. It's so that people can like make them correctly. But anyways, she might love some like if they have like paints with the gemstone stuff in it, like out of a powder like that. That might be something she's interested in.
Well, that sounds fascinating.
Because I mean, my
Well, we
kids
can
can make
certainly
stuff
look.
glittery and stuff like that, but they don't quite do it like gemstones do. Can I help
Okay.
you?
Can we find someone who makes dyes or paints for?
You can. Again, there's sort of like an option of like there's like one shop. That's it. Again, this is a very small amount of people.
That's fair.
Yeah. Is this another shop that you did not plan something for?
I'm so sorry, partner.
Perhaps.
We can
I'm
do
like-
a bunch of RP. I'm so sorry.
I'm like, you know what makes sense? A blacksmith. Like a weapon shop. A magic store. Not a fucking pottery and paint
Wait.
place.
Wait. Magic store? Maybe we can go to a magic store.
Let's go to the magic store.
We'll go to the magic store.
You don't know that it exists. Fuck you.
Damn
Let's
it!
find a
On
magic
that
store.
note, and on that note, I'm headed off, folks.
Oh,
Okay.
baby. Have a good night.
Night.
Good night.
Oh god. I think all of us have just kind of gone,
Magic
well, there's no
store.
point in trying to buy magic items.
Store.
Yeah.
Oh,
Magic.
You don't know that a magic store exists.
That's fair and valid. Carry on.
But we should also possibly try and find if the magic store does exist.
We
Let's
will go to
find
every
any
store
store
for
that
all
looks
the
interesting.
puzzles. We will get all the currency we can. Milk it for what it's worth. Stay at
I
Emily for
mean,
2 years.
If we really want to play this as we sort of go around and ask at the various shops if there's a way we can help.
Yeah, we just integrate ourselves into Epley society. We get married to nice sneak people and have sneak wives.
Snake wife.
Husbands.
Snake wife. Snake wife.
Snake.
Oh god.
Are we done?
Yes. Are you done,
we
partner?
done?
No.
You done with our
No.
bullshit?
Oh god.
Anyway,
Dearest, I don't know what you expect.
Anyway,
it's less that there is like a shop for paints, and there's more like the painter of the city, like the it's
Yeah.
not so much an artisan as it's more like the guy that paints shit. Like
Plus,
that's kind of what's going on.
Wait, I have a
the
question.
illustrator.
I have a question.
Yes.
Oh no.
Where's Vinali?
Vinali is with Talia.
the fucking cat.
Where with Talia?
On their shoulders.
Where is Talia?
With you.
With yeah,
No, but
with
on
Diona.
Diona's shoulders?
No, because Zoella is currently on.
Oh, okay. I was envisioning like a stack. You know what would be so good? Talia on Diona's shoulders. Zoella on Talia's shoulders. Vinali on Zoella's shoulders.
Yes.
And then Marcus perched on
Yeah.
top.
My
Yes.
god.
Back.
Mercy flying overhead.
Wait, who's bigger, Marcus or Mercy?
Marcus, probably.
I think Marcus. Mercy's
You could have
bigger,
Marcus
smaller.
and then Mercy on top of
Good
it.
lord.
Although he
I
wouldn't
think
stand
that
for
is
very
at
long.
severe risk of toppling.
Yeah, I mean the birds might
It's
be
fine.
fine, but
It's not gonna topple. It's fine.
It's fine.
Diona's strong. She can handle it.
Diona's got this.
Strong white, strong white.
Hey Joe, A, B, or C?
Oh god. This defines
B.
our fate.
Okay.
Oh man, you
That's all
fucked up
three
big time.
puzzle.
Eh.
Okay.
I
Like,
don't know what's going on, but okay.
I'm at this point where I'm like, I want to go full Leighton and just throw a fucking puzzle in your face and not give you any context. But I'm not going to, because I have some standards.
Oh bless you. I don't.
Which is salt at the Leighton games, not.
Oof.
I feel like it salted us because we have no standard.
Oh,
No, it's salt at the Leighton games, trust me.
It is salt in the Leighton games, don't worry.
Makes sense.
I mean, we also have very low standards, but.
Anyway, so you find the dude that does fucking painting.
Yes.
And he basically is kind of like, yeah, sure, I can. And then sort of takes a look at you have like what, $6?
Yeah.
And he just kind of like, I don't really.
I mean, preferably like a set of like several different colors would be nice. A good variety, but
Well, I would charge you about like one a jar, but if you want more than like,
a sampler set? I don't really want to use all our money though, dang it. I mean, I mean, if there's something we can do for you, maybe?
He goes, you know what? Tell you what. I'm bad at numbers. I will admit this. It's why I'm a painter.
Oh, I get it for sure.
But and he pulls out like a piece of fabric and he's like, I've been told, so my apprentice gives me this piece of paper, or this fabric, and tells me that if I have that, he basically, it's like a riddle. There's not much to do, so he gave me a riddle. So if you solve this for me, I guess I'll give you paint. I am really pulling shit out of my ass.
Yes.
Alright, give us a fucking riddle.
This is you have broken Parker.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
Yes, but I have a vested interest in my partner not being broken.
I have a vested interest in Parker liking me, but I still act like an asshole anyway, so I don't know what my problem is.
Yes, because you act like an asshole to
Human
make
decency,
people like you.
I mean,
The puzzle.
Yes. That one. Hello.
He go if you were to divide this fabric into 3 sections and you have 3 colors of paint, how many combinations can you make?
You
Yeah.
can't repeat them.
You can't repeat them, and you can't have the same color beside itself. No 2 adjacent sections of the flag can be the same color.
Okay.
9?
I tried that. No.
6.
Dylan, Colin, I don't know necessarily that this particular conundrum is going to be your strong suit.
Is it
20.
7? I don't really know numbers
Okay,
either.
hold on. Dylan,
Yes.
how about you come over here with me? We'll take a little walk and I'll tell you what I've been working on and they can work on this paint.
Vice
Okay.
immediately sends Mercy to like be with Susanna for that
Fine
one.
little bastard. All right, that's
He wants her to know. He wants to spoil the surprise for himself.
bastard.
Him is bastard.
I'm eating out of a bag of marshmallows.
I
Ugh,
appreciate
I
that.
hate that texture so much. I freaking hate marshmallows. I'm so sorry.
Marshmallows?
I can't.
Damn.
They have to be warm or hot, like melted, or like stretched like taffy. Otherwise, I can't eat them. It's the texture. It makes me nauseous.
That's fair. Hey, gamers. I gotta head out.
Okay, well,
Go.
Susanna's making flaming bullets and she'll show them to Dylan.
Bless.
Hell yeah. I'll
Heal
see you.
ye.
Hopefully, I'll see you
Okay.
next time.
Bye, Josh.
Bye, gamers.
Bye.
I'm getting 12 as far as number of possible combinations. If you cannot repeat, if the colors can't be next to each other, and Wait,
Huh?
did you say he couldn't repeat it, or just the same color couldn't be next to itself?
Same color can't be next to itself.
So it should be 12.
He goes, I tried that, and apparently that's wrong too.
Okay.
Sorry, I misunderstood that you can't repeat. You can use the same color like twice.
Yeah, that's how I got 12, because I did 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, etc. But taking out any possibles that could have the same color next to itself. That's how I got 12.
He shrugs and goes, he says it's not 12.
Okay.
I know.
Y'all, there's pizza here, so I might just yeehaw on out. Thank you for session. I love you guys, and I'll see you next.
Okay, goodbye, PK. Have your pizza. Eat that sauce.
I guess solve this puzzle and we'll call it then. Is there anything else you want to do? An hour? But I was giving you the option? I had a combat encounter ready for today.
Oh, god damn it.
You know us. We don't fuck with encounters.
No, generally it's puzzles we avoid.
Yeah, but I guess that's our day today. We'll have it next week, I guess.
Because, I mean, yeah, it's... Sorry, I'm actually just going to write it down in the chat.
Yeah,
so that
I don't do very well with numbers, but I'm trying to figure it out, I guess. So the thing is... that doesn't work.
This is just all the combinations that are possible with that rule as far as I can tell. That should be because that's got none of the numbers next to each other.
At some point, the decision sticks his head out and goes, "You could still pay me for a hint. Just one." And sticks his head back in.
Let's give him one of the coins.
Wait, it could be simple. Because if the colors can't be... What if it's just 3? No, maybe 4. Could be either 3, 4, or 5, because if it's just... Because if you have to use all 3 colors, then there's 5 possible options that use all 3 colors.
Nope. Nope. My brain is dead as a player, so my brain is like stopped and I'm trying to grind it forward and it's like dragging on cement. Holy crap.
Wait, I actually forgot I forgot a couple of numbers in that because I'm intelligent. There should also be 1, 3, 1 and 1, 3, 2. I don't know how I forgot those, but because that takes the total number of options. If you if it's not just you can only use you have to use each color. 3, 6. Yeah, that still gets back to 12, which you said wasn't right.
Nope.
Do we have to use every color? Because we could just do 1 and then 2 and then 3.
Wait a second. There's another possibility that's... Does every square have to be colored?
The apprentice sticks his head out and goes, "Nope, you're getting it."
Fucker. That is my out of character response, because if every square doesn't have to be colored, then that means that... God, that means there's a stupid number of options.
Yeah, because it could be... Jesus, that's a fuck ton.
Because that means that it's...
There's a very easy math equation you can do.
My brain does not work that way.
I probably know it, but like I fucking remember it.
I was never good at these in my math classes, so I'm fucked. Isn't it like... Is it like 27 or something?
The man sort of shouts back, goes, "27," and the apprentice responds, "Closer."
Fuck! Because I'm trying to, because you can divide it by, and then, so it's higher than 27?
You just got closer. That's all you
Okay.
got.
Okay. Because I was thinking, isn't it? Oh god, that's way too much. I'm a dummy. Nope.
3. Yeah, that is the entire number of possibilities, if not all the squares have to be colored.
You're welcome. And this is me,
How-
Salt, not.
How many options is that?
That's 19
So that's
plus.
12 plus 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30, 34, apparently.
The Apprentice gives you ooh, very close.
35? Nope. Could it be?
I don't think I'm missing any options.
No, you are.
Not ones that fulfill the rule
34?
of the same thing can't be next to itself.
So you said 34, but
No, I see a couple. I know which two you're missing.
oh, you're missing 302, right?
Didn't I put that? I've got 202.
No, I did 302. Oh
No,
you're right.
302
You're
is
right.
in there. Although, since apparently we're missing 2.
Fuck, I was hoping you missed that.
So it's 36 somehow. I'm just not sure which 2 we are missing. So.
It's 020 and 030.
I swore they were in there.
Nope, it's not.
Okay. I know what I did. I sort of. Yeah. I see what I did.
Then I
The painter kind of
So
looks
it
at the
is
apprentice,
36.
goes 36, and the apprentice goes, "That's cheating. You asked somebody." And the painter's like, we didn't make rules, and then he rolls his eyes and he digs his hand into his pocket and pulls out 5 of the coins, and the painter hands you all 2 and thank you.
Yes. 2 more coins, baby. And I get my paints from Mama. Right?
Yes, you get a selection. Sorry,
You're good.
of 8.
Yeah.
Of 8.
Hold on. Whatever, you get the rainbow set. You get the rainbow set. However many fucking colors that is. I'm tired. Session over. Go to bed.
Thank you for the session.
Yeah, bless you. Thank you so much, Parker.
Bless
We're
you.
gonna fight shit next time.
Hell yeah.
That's fair and valid.
I love fighting
Probably
shit.
long rest first because Zola used all her spell slots healing the people who came in through the.
Oh,
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
Oh, we shouldn't have fucking healed them. They probably are gonna be who we're fighting. We shouldn't have healed them so they can just suffer in pain. Damn it.
No. We are good people and we make the effort to do good.
Yes, but I as a player am not good.
Red, please.
I, however, as a player, am good.
That's good for you.
Oh my god.